What's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you this week's episode of What's New at TW. I got a bunch of stuff for you today. We got some power fishing stuff, finesse gear, new sunglasses, some new summertime apparel from Sims. Let's jump right into it, to the power fishing stuff, everyone's favorite. So the first one here, or actually first couple here, are from Beast Coast. This one, probably the coolest looking bait I've seen in a long time. This is the new Beast Coast Bladerunner. So they specifically made this bait to fish on your vibrating jigs and chatterbaits, jackhammers, thunder crickets, whatever you want to throw it on. This is what it's made for. So really cool profile on it. So it has that nice shad style body, you know, segmented tail right here, and then that little separated kind of forked tail design on there. So when you put this thing on a vibrating jig, it's going to get crazy action. So it's going to have that really tight swimming action, just like a bait fish would. It has a really good profile, and the colors that they have in this thing, they've knocked it out of the park. You know, this one here, one of my favorites, is I think it's, you know, this clear blue shad color, but they got everything from green pumpkins, black and blues, chartreuses, the fire craw, whatever you want, they got it for you. It's also made out of a more durable plastic, so it's not going to get torn up as easy as some of the other soft plastics that have maybe a little bit more salt content in them. This thing, you're going to be able to thread it up on your vibrating jig, catch a bunch of fish, and you're not going to blow through a whole pack of plastic super quick. So if you're looking for a trailer for any of your favorite bladed jigs out there, the Bladerunner is going to be the one you want to check out. The next one they made is a new flippin bait. So Beast Coast made this new little flippin bait called the Flippin Delight. So they really spent a lot of time kind of going through all the little nuanced pieces of this bait to make sure you're getting the best flippin bait that you can. So really durable body, you know, got a nice ribbing on here. You know, that reverse rib is going to trap, you know, catch a lot of water, produce a nice vibration when it's going through on your Texas rig. But a couple of things they did, they beefed up the areas where you want the plastic beefed up, you know, up here at the tail end of it, where your flipping hook's going through and you're gonna have that big keeper on there, really durable. Back here on the back, they got a nice slit that's gonna get that hook through the middle of the body, and then a nice channel right through the middle to help hide your hook point, keep it super weedless. So, you know, taking that plastic out of the middle, gonna get better hookups, but you're not sacrificing any of the durability and bulkiness of the body. Down on the claws, super thin claws, they got those nice flanges on the ends of it. They have little cup sections on them, so you're gonna get super fast, aggressive fluttering action. Really nice flipping bait. So summertime's full swing right now. If you're fishing areas where there's a lot of mats and, you know, grass and heavy vegetation that you want to flip, that new Beast Coast one, Flippin Delight, one you want to throw in the arsenal as well. So if you're in one of those lakes where you're fishing a lot of ledges for schooling fish, we got a new one from Scottsboro. So this is the Scottsboro Jason Christie custom swimbait head. So, you know, the ledge season's about to be full swing all over the country. You're out fishing deep, catching those big schools of fish, you know, 20, 30 feet deep. When you get them fired up, you can catch 10, 15, 20 bass at a time. This is gonna be a nice swim bait head for that. So it's gonna be great for any of those like 3.5 to 6 inch swim baits. This Jason Christie head, you know, there's really nice detailing on the head. They got those kind of gill plate inlays, nice 3D eyes, nice durable, you know, powder coatings on them, some nice colors. One thing I really like about the Jason Christie head is it has that screw lock keeper on there. So the screw lock, you know, you can twist your baits on there. It's gonna lock them down really tight, and it's just much more efficient than using a barbed keeper system or using glue. The hook on here, so all the different sizes, I believe we have them from 1/4 to 3/4 ounce, they're all gonna feature the same hook. So they all feature a 30-degree 4/0 Eagle Claw hook. So it's kind of a medium gauge, kind of a general purpose hook. Gonna be a little bit on the stout side for throwing like your 6 and 8 pound. It's gonna be a little bit, you know, a little on the light side if you're trying to throw like 25 pound fluoro or braid. So anything in that 10 to 20 pound range, you should be good to go. Gonna be another great head for A-rigs. I believe they come in a 3-pack. So, you know, you can load up a rig, especially if you're in California, you can only have 3 hooked baits anyway. You know, this is gonna be a great option to check out. All right, next one up we got here from 6 Cents, got a new lipless crankbait. So this one is the Duke. So 6 Cents is always coming out with really cool baits. This lipless kind of adding to their line. And when you look at this thing, you know, it kind of has that standard size lipless crankbait body shape or body size, but it weighs 5/8 of an ounce. So when you're comparing it across the board to other lipless crankbaits kind of in this class, it's a little bit heavier, and it's gonna produce more vibration and displace a little bit more water. It's got a really wide head on the front of it. Inside of it, it is loaded down with weight. So it's got a combination of BBs and a wand knocker. So I mean, there's a lot going on in there. So Really loud lipless crankbait. Like I said, since it's so heavy, you can do some things that other lipless crankbaits can't. So if you want to fish it shallow, you can absolutely burn this thing over the grass and it's going to stay down, it's going to run true. But since it's small, compact, and it's really heavy, going to be good for fishing deep as well. So if you want to yo-yo it in the wintertime out in the bottom, or if you want to throw lipless right now in the summertime, get those schools fired up, this is going to be a great one to do it with. Nice compact body, really heavy, going to cast really well, especially in wind. Comes out of the box with the black split rings, triple grip style treble hooks on it, and as always, 6th Sense has got some of the best colors out there. This is one of my favorites. Shad scales with those inlaid scales on there just really mimics a small shad in the water. All right, switching gears, kind of more of the finesse stuff. The first one we're going to talk about is the new Lucky Craft Pointer 50. Tiny little jerkbait. I am super stoked to try this thing out, especially up in the high Sierras, do some trout fishing with it. So most of the colors in this Pointer 50 that we got are kind of trout geared colors, but you can fish trout with them, any kind of other panfish. You can fish bass with them. It's just a super small, compact little bait. So if you're doing some other, some stuff besides bass fishing, or the bass are going to be keyed in on really small bait, this Pointer 50 is going to be one you want to check out. Even though it is a it's a pointer jerkbait, it does have a weight transfer system in it. So you're actually going to get really good casting distance. So you're gonna get good casting distance plus great casting accuracy. Really compact bait. Gonna be great for any of those times that the fish are really keyed in on small bait fish. And there's some pretty radical colors since they are kind of geared more towards trout. So something the fish had just never really seen before. Keeping with that kind of finesse theme here, we got a bunch of stuff from Owner in the Cultiva line. So we got the old Owner Cultiva, the Rip and Minnow 65 and the 70. So again, really small jerkbaits. They did a great job with these things. They're kind of an in-between of like a crankbait and a jerkbait. So they kind of have more of a minnow style body, almost like a shad wrap. And with the 65, you got the shallow bill. The 75's got that little longer bill on it. So you can reel these things, you can wind them, and they're gonna get that real tight wobbling action like you would with a, like a shad wrap style crankbait. Or you can twitch them and you're gonna get that nice erratic action out of them. With the 70 with that longer bill, you're gonna get this thing down around 5-6 feet. The 65 with the short bill is gonna run you about 3 to 4 feet. One of the cool things that the Owner's done with these, since they are Owner baits, they're coming right out of the box with Owner split rings, Owner stinger treble hooks, so you don't have to upgrade any hardware. I believe they come in at $9.99, but you don't need to do any upgrades to them. They're already ready to fish right out of the box, and they got some pretty awesome colors. If you're really into the finesse kind of BFS stuff, really small baits, it's getting tougher and tougher, especially in our area. There's more and more people out to the lake and, trying to catch fish, and it's becoming harder and harder to get fish to trigger, and it seems like going smaller is the way to go. So if you're looking for those smaller baits, check these ones out from Owner. And extending the Cultiva line as well, they got a new lipless crankbait. This is the Mira Vibe, I believe the 60, really small compact bait. It's super thin. If you check it out from the top profile, a little bit narrower than most of your other lipless crankbaits on the market. So it's gonna cut through the water like a knife. They've got some great detailing on them. Those gills on there kind of protruding out to the side, just gives it some depth. They got nice scales, 3D eyes, like the other ones, they got the Owner hardware on them, come right out of the box ready to go. Nice rattles in there. There's a ton of little BBs on there, so it's kind of a more high-pitched style lipless crankbait there. So if you're looking for like a smaller lipless crank, I believe it's like 2 or 2 1/8 inches, really small, just something a little, downsize your tackle when the fishing stuff. That's gonna be a great one to add to your arsenal there. All right, keeping with the finesse theme, we got a new line from Sunline. This is the new Defier D leader. So this is an early iCast release line, and they worked with Marizo Shimizu to develop this fluorocarbon leader, and it's actually made to work in conjunction with their D braid. We don't have it in just yet, but it should be here really soon, and they specifically developed this braid and leader material for finesse fishing. So if you're a diehard finesse fanatic, you're definitely gonna wanna get some of this. I mean, it's Sunline's most premium fluorocarbon leader material they've ever made, they've ever produced. So it's made with the highest quality materials that they can get their hands on. They made it to be super abrasion resistant and have really high tensile strength. So you can fish that lighter line. I believe we have it in 5 to 10 pounds. So 5 pounds, 6 pound, 8 pound. You want to throw it in around rocks and brush piles, especially when it's tough. This is going to give you a little bit of added insurance that you're not going to rub up against something and immediately get broken off, since you're going to have that added abrasion resistance to this line as well. So really low in stretch, so you're gonna feel those really, really light bites. Fluorocarbon's nearly invisible to the fish. And when you pair it up with the D braid that's gonna come in, that braided line is actually a little bit denser than normal braided lines, and it's a sinking braid. So you're gonna have more direct line of contact with your bait versus a traditional braid that usually floats in the water. Get a big bow in your line. With this new system, you're gonna have a direct line of contact, gonna have better sensitivity, you're gonna feel those light bites, and just overall better system for finesse fishing. So drop shots, Nico rigs, wacky rigs, Ned rigs, little swim baits, little tiny shaky heads. That's gonna be one you wanna check out from Sunline. Next up from Daiwa, we got a small kind of finesse bait caster. We got the new Tatula 80. So this thing really geared towards fishing small, lightweight baits. So your small little lightweight crankbaits, little jerkbaits, poppers, small jigs, little Texas rigs where you want to fish like an 1/8 ounce or something really, really small that's hard to throw on maybe like your 200 size bait casters with 15-pound line on them. These 80 size are perfect for that like 8 to 12-pound line, and it just makes casting so much more efficient with the smaller lures. If you've never used a small compact bait caster like this in like a 70, 80 size, it is phenomenal what you can do with a bait caster with the smaller lures versus a traditional size bait caster. The first time I ever did it, with like a little 78 size pointer jerkbait, you can fire it into the wind, no problems. So this Daiwa, it's got Daiwa's hyperdrive design in there, so it's extremely smooth. I believe it's a double supported pinion gear, reinforced clutch system. It's got I believe it's a hyperdrive body, so it's extremely rigid, and it's not going to have any kind of torquing issues. You're not going to load up on a fish and you're going to get the gears out of line or anything like that with the hyperdrive system. With that small spool in there, there's actually less inertia, so when you go to cast, it takes less force to get the spool spinning, so it's much easier to cast those small baits, get great casting distance, less backlash, just definitely what you want with with throwing those small baits. It's got the T-wing system on there, so again, just increasing that line flow. If you've never tried to reel with a T-wing, absolutely increases your casting distance and reduces kind of that backlash and kind of reduces that line going side to side. And since it is an 80 size, it still has a 90 millimeter handle on it. So it doesn't have like a little baby wimpy handle. So you can still crank on fish. Just a phenomenal reel by Daiwa. If you're looking for something small, compact, for doing kind of lighter weight applications, I highly recommend checking out that Tatula 80. All right, jump into some sunglasses. So we started carrying Hobie sunglasses. So the first one here, these are the Matadors. All the Hobie sunglasses are gonna come with fully 100% polarized frames. Not polarized frames, excuse me. Polarized lenses. They are, I believe they're a polycarbonate lens, but they're also safety rated. So not only are you gonna get great polarization out of them, you can use these for other applications. If you're doing shooting sports, if you have a job that requires you to wear safety glasses all the time, Hobie's gonna be a great answer. The polycarbonate frames on the outside, extremely lightweight, super rugged. The coating that they do on these lenses, they shed water, they resist grime and dust and stuff like that, so they're super easy to clean and they don't get smudged up like some of your other sunglasses. So we have the Matadors, and then the other two pairs that we got are actually the Hank Cherry editions. So Hank Cherry designed himself a couple of frames. There's a bunch of different lens colors and lens options. You can actually go onto the website, check out each different lens color, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of the light transmission and what each lens color is going to be best for. There's some sight fishing ones specifically, really going to brighten things up when it's overcast and you're really trying to see those fish. It makes those fish kind of stand out in contrast against the bottom, so definitely want to get those for sight fishing season, or if you just fish a lot in overcast, cloudy conditions. Hank Cherry's, of course, going to have some red hits on there, and the Hank Cherry editions are also floating, so a little bit of added insurance on there. We all know, sunglasses are expensive, and the last thing you want to do is drop in the water and watch them sink down to the bottom of the lake, but the Hank Cherry one's going to give you some floating action, so if you look over the side of the dock or something, you don't have to worry about them falling off and going away forever. So, so we're carrying the Hobie sunglasses. Make sure you check out all the styles on the website at tacklewarehouse.com. Last up, we got a bunch of new summertime apparel from Simms. First up, we're going to go into a couple pairs of shorts. We got the new Sims C-mount board shorts. Really cool board shorts. I didn't think I was gonna like them that much till I pulled them out of the package, but they're kind of blending the lines between like a traditional board short and just a regular pair of shorts. So first thing I noticed is the fabric, you know, super light, but it's got some stretch to it, not like the old school board shorts that don't really have any stretch to them at all. Plus they put some pockets in there. You know, most board shorts don't have pockets. You got some front pockets, got a cargo pocket on the side. Around the whole waist, you have this perforated material around the whole waistband, so you're gonna get some added airflow. Really cool design. And they also have a zippered fly. One thing I always hated about board shorts is having that Velcro and all the fly systems they put in. Still has the lace tie at the top, but you got a zippered fly on there. So like I said, kind of a cross between a traditional pair of shorts and a board short. Gonna be nice for, you know, summertime if you want to jump in. They quick dry. The next ones we got up are more of your standard, you know, traditional style of shorts. This is the Challenger shorts. These are actually a cotton, polyester, and spandex blend. So if you don't want the full board shorts, want something a little more traditional, these are gonna be the way to go with the Challengers. These are also quick drying, so you can jump in the water with these, no problem. And they still have some of those features that were on the C-mount board shorts. They have the perforated material all the way around the waistband, so you're gonna get a little bit of added airflow. Got front pockets, back pockets, dual cargo pockets, the phone holder, you know, plenty of pockets and storage options on there. Gonna go nice with a couple of shirts they got. So if you're familiar with like their Solarflex series, we got a couple additions to add to that. The first one is their solar vent. I already picked one of these up myself. Got the hood on it. I always like having the hooded shirt. Kind of just eliminates the need to have a mask up. I don't like having the mask. It's not as comfortable. The hood is the way to go. But these new solar vents, you're gonna get the same performance from the Solarflex shirts. You know, they're really lightweight. Stretch material. They offer that UPF 50 protection, so you don't have to wear sunscreen and protect it from the sun. But these are just going to be way more breathable. So on the back and on the hood and under the arms, they're going to have those mesh paneling on there. So you're going to get way better airflow on these versus the traditional, the old Solarflexes. So the solar vent going to give you more airflow, but still all the same benefits of the Solarflex. And now we have the Solar Guide cooling shirt. So this is a really cool shirt. It's using Sim's Armor Cool technology, and the shirt is actually cool to the touch when you touch it. So if you fish in those areas where it's really, really hot, really, really humid, this is gonna be one you wanna check out. It's gonna help just keep you cool in those environments. The way they weave the fabrics together, it's a really, really tight weave, and it disperses that you know, sweat and stuff really quickly and evaporates and gives you a cooling sensation, which is really nice. This shirt got a few more features in it than the Solarflex or the Solar Vent. Around the cuffs, they got the little loops on here for your hands. So if you don't like wearing the sun gloves, but you want that protection for the back of your hands, you can run the sleeves up and over the back of your hands. On the hood, you know, it's a 3-panel hood, and on the inside, it's got the built-in mask as well. So you can run it with the mask in there. It actually has snaps in there, so you can take it out or move it around, and you don't have to run the mask if you don't want to. On the back, it actually has a pocket. So there's a zipper on the back, so you can store your phone back there, you put your wallet back there, put your fishing license, whatever you want. So it's nice to have kind of a little pocket storage on the back of your sun shirt to keep a few extra things on hand if you want. Chapstick, a little bit of sunscreen, whatever you need. That's gonna be the one you wanna go with. So a bunch of cool stuff. In addition, we got a bunch of new cool t-shirts, cool hats. This new Sims special knot shirt, really comfortable, cotton poly blend. They fit really good. Like I said, we got a bunch of stuff from Sims, so make sure to head over the website and check all of it out. That's gonna wrap up today's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase any of these products seen here today, click shop at the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most pumped about.